Hello everyone, once again welcome back to this YouTube channel. So in today's topic we are going to learn the CNS tumors. So let's begin. So the most common brain tumor is metastasis from the small cell lung cancer. The tumor which is metastasized from the lungs. So that tumor is the most common brain tumor. Please remember that overall most common brain tumor is metastasized from small cell lung cancer. Now the CNS tumor were in the childs and in the adults. So in the adults we have glioblastoma, meningioma and oligodendroglioma. And in the children, the CNS tumors were JPA, that is juvenile pilocytic astrocytoma, ependymoma, and medulloblastoma. So in this, the JPA is most common benign tumor in the children. So it is most common benign tumor in children, and medulloblastoma is most common malignant brain tumor in children. So it is malignant. And the oligodendroglioma is the most common malignant brain tumor in the adults. So it is malignant brain tumor in the adults and glioblastoma meningioma. So let's begin about the juvenile pilocytic astrocytoma. So juvenile pilocytic astrocytoma, as we can write it also as JPA. So for this we have to memorize the C's. Means C will come into the JPA. That is, it is most common benign brain tumor in the children. C4 most common site is cerebellum, and on the grossly we see the cystic change. These three C's for the juvenile pilocytic astrocytoma. We also find the C in the asthma, that is Seriola bodies like this, but in the JPA we have that it is C here is common, like it is most common brain tumor in the children, and most common site is cerebellum, and grossly we see the cystic changes. So here this is the grossly image of the cerebellum. As we see, this is the cyst and it is seen in the cerebellum. So it is the most common benign brain tumor in the children. So the most common site is cerebellum. Grossly we see the cystic changes, and it gives the good prognosis. So JPA has the good prognosis because it is a grade 1 tumor. So because it is a grade 1 tumor, that's why it is a benign brain tumor in the children. So the most common benign brain tumor in the children is JPA. And on the microscopic image we see the rosenthal fibers. As we see this pinkish material, it is of rosenthal fiber. These were the rosenthal fibers. So in the JPA, on the microscopic examination, we see these rosenthal fibers. Now next one is the ependymoma. So next one is ependymoma. So ependymoma is also seen in the children. So it is the most common. It is found in the fourth ventricle. So most common it is found in fourth ventricle, while the JPA is found in the cerebellum. So in this ependymoma, most common site is the fourth ventricle, and on the microscopic image we see the rosettes and pseudorosettes. So ependymoma we see the rosettes and pseudorosettes, while in the JPA we see the rosenthal fibers. So next one, the most common malignant brain tumor in children is medulloblastoma. So medulloblastoma is most common malignant brain tumor in children. So in this, the location is cerebellum. Benign tumor is also occur in the cerebellum, and the malignant tumor is also occur in the cerebellum. JPA also in the cerebellum. Medulloblastoma, which is a malignant brain tumor, it is also seen in the medulloblastoma. On the microscopic examination, in this we see the Homer-Wright pseudorosettes. So here the pseudorosettes were seen. I will tell you the difference between rosettes and true rosette and pseudorosette, but for the learning purpose, please for now please remember that for the medulloblastoma, on the microscopic image we see the pseudorosettes and Homer-Wright pseudorosettes. Basically in the pseudorosettes, these were the tumor cells, and inside it this is a pinkish material is seen, as we see here. So it is a pseudorosette. P for pseudo, P for pink metal. If inside the tumor cells in the center we see the pinkish material, then it is pseudorosette. P for pinkish, P for pseudorosette. Now in the true rosette we did not see this pinkish material in the center of the tumor cells. So next, rosettes. So rosette, true rosette and pseudorosette. So in the pseudorosette we see the central pink fibrillary material, while in the true rosette we did not see the center pink material. We see the center is empty, and the example for pseudorosette is Homer-Wright pseudorosette. As I told you, that is the example is medulloblastoma. And for the true rosette, the example is Flexner Wintersteiner rosette. Flexner Wintersteiner rosettes. As we see here in both this microscopic image, as we see here the center is pinkish color. So P for pink, P for pseudo rosette. So it is a Homer-Wright pseudo rosette. While in this we see the central is empty. So here this it is of true rosette. It is a true rosette, and the example of true rosette is Flexner Wintersteiner rosette, which is seen in the retinoblastoma, which is seen in the RBG, that is retinoblastoma, Flexner Winterstein rosette. These were the true rosette because the center is empty. Now next one is the glioblastoma. Next one is the glioblastoma, which is seen in the adults. So glioblastoma is the most common malignant brain tumor in the adult. So it is malignant brain tumor in adult. As we know, in the child, the most common malignant brain tumor in child is medulloblastoma. In that also blastoma is coming. Here in the glioblastoma, here also blastoma, and both were the malignant. Glioblastoma is for adults, and while the medulloblastoma is for children. Now glioblastoma has the worst prognosis because it is grade 4 tumors. So in this, the most common site is frontal lobe. Most common site is frontal lobe. Basically in the glioblastoma, what will happen, that the tumor is crossing the midline, which is also known as butterfly tumor. So butterfly tumor is seen in glioblastoma. Butterfly tumor is seen in glioblastoma because in this the tumor crosses the midline. As we see here this gross image, as we see that the tumor crosses the midline, so it shows the butterfly tumor. So it is a butterfly tumor which is seen in the glioblastoma, which is a most common malignant brain tumor in the adults. Now on the microscopic image, what we see that this is look like a snail. So it is look like a snail. So it is a serpentine. So it is a serpentine necrosis we see in the microscopic image, and these were the glomeruloid bodies. So these were the glomeruloid bodies, and it is of serpentine necrosis. This one is serpentine necrosis. So on the microscopic image, we see the serpentine necrosis and glomeruloid bodies, which were seen in the glioblastoma, and glioblastoma is a most common malignant tumor in the adult. Now what is the genetics of the glioblastoma? So the genetic of glioblastoma is it involves the IDH gene. So IDH gene is of wild type and also of mutant type. Wild type is most common as it is 90%. So IDH gene most common is wild type, while the mutant is 10%. Now next one is the oligodendroglioma. So oligodendroglioma. So here also the location is frontal lobe. While in the oligodendroglioma, the location is also the frontal lobe. So in this also in adult, this is the location of frontal lobe seen in oligodendroglioma also. Here on the gross image we see the calcification, and on the microscopic image we see the fried egg appearance. So fried egg appearance, as we see here, these shows fried egg appearance, as the in the center there is dark, and in the periphery it is white in color. So it look like a fried egg appearance. So in this, the gene for oligodendroglioma, the new gene, that is IDH gene, which is also seen in the glioblastoma. This is oligodendroglioma, also IDH gene, but here co-deletion is also seen, and co-deletion is of 1p and 19q. P for short arm 1 chromosome number deletion, and on the long arm 19 chromosome deletion is there. 1p 19q is seen in oligodendroglioma. Well, in the glioblastoma there is no co-deletion, there only the IDH gene, that is mutant or wild type. Next one is, as we see, these were the fried egg appearance. This is one clear picture of the fried egg appearance, as we see clearly. So these were the fried egg appearance. Now next one is the meningioma, which is the most common benign tumor of adult. So meningioma is most common benign tumor of adult, while in the child the most common benign tumor is JPA, that is juvenile pilocytic astrocytoma. So meningioma is associated with NF2, that chromosome that involve the chromosome number 22. NF1 involve the 17 chromosome, while the NF2 involve the chromosome 22, 2422 chromosome 22. And in this, most commonly it involves the females, and in this progesterone receptor is present, as the female is most common for meningioma. So the female has progesterone, so progesterone receptor is positive. And on the microscopic image we see the Warling pattern or the Samoma body. Warling pattern is look like this, as we see here. So this is a Warling pattern, as this is a Warling pattern, it looks like a whorl. So these were the Warling pattern. So Warling pattern is seen in the benign tumor of the adult, and the name of that tumor is meningioma. That tumor is meningioma. And these were the psammoma bodies. As we see, these were the psammoma bodies. And as already I told you where we find the psammoma bodies. Once again I am going to revise you. So the psammoma bodies. So seen in the, we make P as B. So seen in the breast cancer, As for sarcoidosis, in sarcoidosis also we see the psammoma bodies. And M for mesothelioma, in mesothelioma we see the psammoma bodies, and another M is for meningioma. So this is a brain tumor. Meningioma is a brain tumor. It is a most common benign brain tumor in the adult, which we study here, that it involves the psammoma bodies. So this is the mnemonic for psammoma bodies, where we find the psammoma bodies. And next one is the miscellaneous, that is schwannoma. So in schwannoma also neurofibromatosis type 2. So in this also NF2 gene is involving. Neurofibromatosis 2 means chromosome number 22. And in this we see the spinal schwannoma, see the dumbbell shaped. So it looks like a dumbbell shaped, and on the microscopic image we see the Verroki bodies. As we see here, these were the nucleus, and in between these nucleus we find the cytoplasm. So it looks like a Verroki bodies. So nuclei, and in between the nuclei we see the cytoplasm. So these were known as Verroki bodies. So as we see clearly, these were the nucleus, and in between these nucleus we find the cytoplasm. So it looks like a Verroki body. So Verroki bodies were seen in the schwannoma. Please remember this, Verroki bodies were seen in the schwannoma. So Verroki bodies were seen in the schwannoma. Next, in the microscopic image we also see the Antony A and Antony B area, as here lots of hypercellular area is seen here, and while this area is hypocellular area. So A means a lot. So this area is known as Antony A area, and this area is known as Antony B area. So in this area, Antony A means a lot. Lot of cells were seen here as blue. These all were cells. So hypercellular area, while the Antony B area is hypocellular area. We can remember it like A is for a lot. So this is about the schwannoma. So all these were the CNS tumors. I hope you get some information from this video. Thank you.